Hey guys, Zangetsu 134 here, bringing you a Kamen Rider build review for episode 21. In this episode, continuing from the last episode, Sento is forced to use the hazard trigger to become Rabbit Tank Hazard in order to fend off the Hokuto trio, as well as prevent Banjo from invading Hokuto and causing disaster and all-out war to spread there. Unfortunately, in doing so, Sento goes berserk, as was warned by Bloodstock, and is forced to kill one of the Hokuto trio, that of Stag, or rather Aoba, as we think learned his name. Oh, that was his code name. I forget what his real name is, but they explain it here. This sends Sento into a spiral of depression and breakdown, and refuses to fight. However, the Prime Minister of Todo decides that to prevent all-out complete war, a battle between a Kamen Rider from each nation is to fight until only one are standing to determine who will take the bottles and the Pandora box. So, yeah, it's funny, I was gonna, I have props, because I finally got some of my orders for my Kamen Rider collection. Like, I have the Steam Blade. I have the Steam Blade right here. I was gonna make some, I was gonna be like, oh, hey, maybe we'll see Stark. I have this, and I have the Cobra full bottle, and I can't use any of it. Like I can't even make jokes. This was a rough episode. Like, I don't think I felt so bad for a Kamen Rider since Kamen Rider Gaim, when Kota found out the truth about the first Invis he killed in the show. The fact, it was an intense episode. It was sad. It was dark. There was barely any music. I think maybe there was, at most, 2 minutes of music in this. The only time otherwise we would hear sounds was when people would transform. But otherwise, it was rough. Sento spends most of it just being depressed or in a breakdown. He goes to the last place that person fought, and he puts flowers down, and he's shaking the whole time. He can't, he's trying to atone for what he did. And there's even a point where he thinks he sees Stag, and it has this static filter, and it's rough, legitimately rough. I didn't cry, but I was like, holy crap, this is a dark episode. But yeah, I think it was really good. I really liked what little snippets we got of Rabbit Tank Hazard. Mostly in the fact that whenever he uses the power of it, it creates the black purplish nebula gas, because that's basically what it is raw nebula gas. Drawing out the full potential of full bottles and the hazard level. But it's really good, and I can see why this is a berserker, especially because with the horns, it almost looks like the berserk armor from the anime Berserk. It looks like the Wolf Berserk armor. I can see now why it does that. But yeah, no, this episode is really good, and it shows they show a slow passage of time that it's been at least a week since since the fight from the beginning, and the Hokuto trio has clearly just stolen every single full bottle that Todo had. And yeah, no, it's pretty intense. I really like the episode, though. I like the fact that we get to see how that death affects both, not only the Hokuto trio in Greece, but also Sento and Ryuga. Ryuga feeling it's his fault that Sento had to do that, because otherwise, maybe if he had just listened, if he learned to control himself, Sento wouldn't have had to use the hazard trigger, and someone wouldn't have died. Especially because Ryuga up to this point has basically just been driven in the idea that we have to stop this war. Sento is suffering. Our home is suffering. I'm going to try and end it as quickly as possible. But I don't think Sento has, or Ryuga rather, has thought through what that would mean. That he would probably end up having to kill innocent people just to crush Toto underneath their heel, or Hokuto rather, underneath their heels. I do like I like that. I like the fact that you can clearly see more of Grease's personality. That he knows he doesn't remember these people, but a part of him still still cares for them and has some remembrance of them. You know, to the point where like his usual calmness is completely overshadowed by his rage at the fact that a friend of his died. And I really like the scene between him and Sento at the grave that they've made. That of Sento basically just a frantic mess trying to get him to just beat him up or something to, like, cause Sento even say it's like sorry ain't gonna cut, like saying I'm sorry and being apologetic ain't gonna cut it. I killed someone. Like I went against my own morals, my own beliefs, and I had to do something terrible. And I let myself be overwhelmed by the power. And Grease basically says, you know, like I as much as I'm angry at you for killing my comrade, at the same time I'm not, because this is war. You can't start a war without expecting lives to die. And there's going to be casualties. But at the same time, he's like, I'm still going to crush you. You better come to the representative battle, because I'm going to, if you're going to have such weak resolve, then I'm just going to crush you with my burning soul fire. You know, showing that as much as he's, you know, acted like the Hokuto trio don't matter to him, they clearly do, because they're the few small remnants of his memories that he has left. I really like those scenes. I like the scenes with the Prime Minister clearly, like, knowing that, like, he didn't start this war, but he's got to be the one that finishes it. And he feels bad that Sento is suffering. At the same time, like, their people are suffering. Like, something needs to be done, and he's gonna Sento's gonna basically have to put his own feelings of remorse aside and just pony up. Basically the whole episode is just everyone trying to figure out what to do, and trying to get Sento to fight, because at this point they're the only thing he's got, and if not, Ryuga's going to do it, and he'll end up getting himself killed, because there's no way he can beat Grease at this point. At least I keep saying that. I think that they're trying to basically imply that, like, because of the fact that Ryuga can't control himself as well as Grease can, that he will end up getting destroyed by the power. I hope they fix that, or at least give him a new form, or find some way for him to manage the power. But yeah. And in doing so, the owner, I call him Bloodstock because I can never remember his name. I just call him Bloodstalker owner. We'll just call him Bloodstock. Basically, like tells him to visit him, and he basically, does something that's really interesting. And I've seen Twitter stuff about this, or like Tumblr posts from like the places I talk to people online about Kamen Rider, and I think basically, like, this shows more than anything else that Bloodstock, well, maybe be evil, I think he's doing so purposefully. That of basically he's doing so in order to get Sento to draw the full potential of the build driver. That while the splash driver is quite powerful, there's a power in the build driver that only Sento can draw out. And he needs to draw out that power in order to master the hazard trigger. So basically, like, and it really works, because basically, like, you can tell that, like, there's still a good person inside Bloodstock. We already saw that when he said goodbye to Misora. But here it's definitely because, like, well, he does punch Sento in the gut the gut to get him to come to his senses. He more or less tells Sento, like, are you just going to sit there and let good people die or get hurt? Where is that justice you talked about so much? Where is that want to protect something? Where did it go? You know, he's trying to reach deep inside the place in Sento that basically was the part, like, he basically wants to draw out the good in Sento. Or more or less the Kitsuragi in Sento. Because in my opinion, I think he knows better about who Kitsuragi was than Gentoku or whatever anyone else says. And I think partially it does go back to it without really referencing it, in my opinion, that Sento doesn't know who he is. He knows that he's in the body of Kitsuragi, but at the same time he has the face of someone else, and he doesn't have memories of being the person he was. He is, in many ways, just an amalgamation of people that has now been given a personality and is a person. And I think that's rough on him because he doesn't know what to do. And in fact, in my opinion, I think that's one of the reasons why he goes so berserk so easily in with the Hazard Trigger, because he doesn't know who he is. He's created a persona for himself, but at the same time, he knows that's not his real persona. But yeah, and so basically, he gives him all of the Hokuto full bottles, as Sento has lost all his full bottles, but thanks to the Hokuto trio, save for, I think, Rabbit. Maybe Rabbit and Rabbit Tank. I think it's Rabbit Tank, because at the end of the show, when they show Grease and Build about to battle, he's in Rabbit Tank, which I feel like is kind of boosh, just because of the fact that, like, Grease has all these full bottles, the Hokuto full bottles, and all Toto gets to have are Rabbit Tank. In my opinion, like, if this was really going to be a fair fight, Toto should be allowed their full bottles back, at least, and but I'm not at war. I'm not at war with anybody, so But I feel like that would be like, if you're negotiating this one last battle as a way to end the violence completely, I feel like you should do a little bit better negotiating there. And it was kind of cool. We get to see a new combo for a little bit. Rose helicopter, and they hint at a turtle time. My guess is we probably will see them during the battle, but probably for not very long. I'm actually more surprised we're getting more basic full bottle forms. I actually really like the helicopter Rose full bottle thing because of the fact that the helicopter blades like detach from his back and he can use it as like a makeshift sword. It was kind of interesting, and I liked a lot of the dialogue, like how Bloodstock's like, why are you using like just the vacuum cleaner, and like why are you not using best matches, especially because those seem to synchronize with you better and are better for your hazard trigger, especially because like, or hazard level, especially because like we've seen that Sento does better with best matches, and the fact that they are far more useful because of the fact that he can bring his hazard levels full potential out using them. So yeah, it was an interesting thing, and it's really kind of neat that we're seeing like a training montage. I know like there's like, I think a Televi or like a OVA special, like, well, I say OVA, but that's the only, like, basically like a direct to video special where basically like we're seeing all the best matches for the Hokuto full bottles there. I know that apparently like Wolf's Smart Foe Hazard is going to be debuted there. And basically it's just showing the training that Sento does to raise his hazard level enough that he can maintain the power of of hazard. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I really like this episode. I was surprised at how mature it was, and just how they were willing to go really dark. It was an interesting episode. I really liked it. I really think it gave us a lot of insight into the the minds of these characters and what Sento did, like how does that affect everyone, and it does so really well. I really appreciated this show just for how good it's been. Like I liked X8 and I liked Drive well enough, but I felt like ever since, like, in my opinion, Gaim, we haven't really had a series that's like super wowed me. Like I've had, I mean, every single season so far has at least done okay, with the exception of Ghost. But that, even then, that was just boring. But I feel like Build has been consistently good and consistently well written, especially because I feel like they want to at least try and be a little bit more mature in their writing. Not like well, how a lot of people see mature, but more like they want to, they want to go into these characters' psychologies. They want to show, why these characters do what they do. They want to show the effects of this war and the tension that has been with Japan since the sky wall has been built. And I think it's done a very good job of doing that. And I'm sure some people will disagree with me. That's part of the problem with this fandom, is we can't agree what series are good and what are not. For example, I don't think Amazon's was very good. I think it's Toshiki Inoue level garbage. But then again, I'm also someone who doesn't like almost anything of Toshiki Inoue, bar stuff from like Kamen Rider Kiva and his work on Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. Yeah, I'm one of those people that likes Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. But yeah, I think all in all, I think it's been a good episode. You might be getting a bonus here in a little bit, because I do feel like I want to review the Steam Blade. The problem is I basically have to hold it like this, and I have to basically hold this in camera and fiddle with it. I will give you just an idea that this is a fun toy. I ordered the Trans Steam gun to go with this, and the Trans Steam gun didn't get here first. This came first, which is kind of annoying because I want the Trans Steam gun, and it does more, especially because like this only, like, I can only do like so much functionality with this without the Trans Steam gun. The other big thing is I can do nothing with this until the Trans Steam gun's here. I'm not really interested in getting the build driver. I'm probably going to get the Splash driver, especially because I want the Crack Crocodile full bottle. I mostly got this because Night Rogue is my favorite of the two of them, of Bloodstock and Night Rogue. I really like the look of Night Rogue. Yeah, I had to do that one more time. Okay, one more time. Sorry. I cannot help myself. That is way too fun to shake that thing. But yeah, no, I'm waiting for the Trans Steam gun to get here, and I kind of want to do them together. I know it's late, especially because it's an older toy, but I really wanted it. I definitely want to at some point probably get the Splash driver. That's gonna have to wait until I get some money for it. I'm probably not gonna get the Nebula Steam gun because I kind of don't see the point of it. I think it's kind of annoying that he gets a whole nother weapon. I'm also not gonna get the cross, the weapon that the twin crosser, the weapon that Grease and Crossy use. I mainly want it so that I can have Kamen Rider Rogue's transformation form because I really like that look. Which I'm gonna guess is gonna be coming pretty soon, probably in like March. Or maybe towards the end of February, because of the fact that I kind of feel like this is going to be like the end of the Toto versus Hokuto arc, and getting us into the Toto and Hokuto versus like I think it's Sato, the Sato arc. Because I kind of feel like Grease is going to end up becoming a good guy. I really think so, because I don't really think he's a bad guy. I mean, he's mostly following orders and not harming innocent people. Whereas I'm pretty sure Kamen Rider Rogue is Gentoku. But we have yet to see that, so I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's the phone. I gotta get that. So I will catch you next time. Take care.